Welcome to the channel Gateway to IT. And today we're going to discuss about the prerequisites for SCCM installation or SCCM lab. So, if we look back, we have already installed the Hyper-V, and now we have already installed the virtual router. Also, we have one server with AD role installed on it. So these prerequisites has been already completed. Now, the next prerequisite which is pending is SCCM server installation. So now we're going to install the actual SCCM, and before we do that, we have to discuss about the prerequisites which is are required in order to install SCCM. So let's discuss those prerequisites. So in order to install SCCM server, we need a one virtual machine with server operating system installed on it. Then we need to create a user who should have a full admin access, and we're gonna add that particular user to the CM underscore full admin group. Then we need to install the server rules and features which are required for SCCM installation, like IIS and then bits. So those are the roles and features which we're going to install, and then after that we're going to install the SQL and then ADK. So let's start with the installation of a virtual machine with operating system, server operating system. So first we need to create a virtual machine. So in order to create a virtual machine, we have to go to the Hyper-V and create new virtual machine. And then I'm gonna name this virtual machine as an CM underscore TRS. That would be the primary site. I'm gonna give the site code as my machine name. So I'm gonna save it on my lab folder. You can save it wherever you want. And next, generation 2, next, 96. For now I'm gonna give 4096 as an the memory. You can give whatever you want, but at least we should be needing 4096 for the server when we create a SCCM server. So you can also, for now I'm gonna skip this video because I've already have given created the virtual machine and installed the operating system in my previous video. You can refer to that. So now Windows Server has been installed for SCCM, and the very first thing which we have to do is on this server is we have to change the IP address from automatic to static. So I've already changed it in my case. So previously it was obtain an IP address automatically. This was selected. So now I have selected use the following IP address, and I have given 192.168.1.5 as my IP address for the primary site server, and that's you have to do the same thing. Now the next thing which we have to do is we have to join this machine to the domain and also add this machine to rename this machine. So I have already renamed it ind-cmprs and also joined to the domain. So you can also do that. These are the basic things which we have to do on the server. So now our first point has been completed, like creation of one VM with the server operating system, which is already done. Now we have to go for the second one, which is creation of a full admin user for SCCM. So I'm gonna create an account for the SCCM which have the full admin rights, and uh, which which should be a full admin user on the SCCM. So I'm gonna create that right now. So in order to create the admin user, we have to log into our domain controller, and then we have to go to Active Directory users and computers. Under users and computers, we have to go under CM accounts or whatever OU you have created. Under that, you have to create a new user. So that new user will be CM underscore admin 1. So that will be my full admin. Next. Okay, so this account has been created. Now I'm gonna add this account to my full admin security group. Okay, now the account has been added. Now the next step which we have to do is we have to create a group. So that will be a security group, and I'm gonna name this group as an CM underscore local admin. The reason I'm creating this group is because I'm gonna make this particular group uh, the part of local administrator on all the machines. And in this group, I'm gonna add my members will be my client push account, network access account, client push account. So the client push account have a local admin access in order to install the client on the machine, and network access account because network access account require needed for the software distribution. In order to, it requires network connectivity and requires the permission to copy the files the on the machine locally. So for that we need network access account, and then I'm going to give permissions to my operational admin and my full admins. So these are the four accounts which why I'm adding operational admin and full admin is because these are the administrators who gonna work on those machines. Let's say if there is any issue coming on those machines, then we will be requiring admin permission on those machines. So I'm gonna add these users as a local admin, and they can work on that. So or troubleshoot those machines. So these are the four accounts which we have to add. Now I've added all these four accounts, and the next part which we have to do is, because obviously we have to deploy this on all the machines, so it has to be gone through a group policy. So I'm gonna open a group policy management. I've already created it, but let me show you one more time how exactly I did that, so you can also have an idea. I'm gonna delete this. First of all, you have to right click on group policy object and then say new, and I'm gonna name this policy as in SCCM client push. So click OK. Now right click on it, edit. Once you click on edit, you have to go to policies. Under policies, you have to go to Windows settings. Under Windows settings, you have to go to security settings. Under security settings, the very first thing which we have to go for is restricted group. Now under restricted group, we have to add a group. Now this group will be my local admin group which I have created, which is CM underscore local admin. So I'm gonna add this account here and say okay. Now this is asking me two questions: member of this group and this group is member of. So I have to add this group is member of administrators. Administrators is the group which we get on the local machine. Like if I take this as a local machine, if I go to lusrmgr.msc, I think this will not going to show because this is a server. But if you open that, we will be able to see administrators as a group there. And so this particular group, which is my local admin, cm underscore local admin, will be part of my administrator groups there. So it has a full permission on the machine. So I'm gonna say apply. Okay. Now our group is added there. Now the second thing which we have to do is we have to open some ports in order to uh, enable the client push. So for that we have to go to Windows Defender Firewall with advanced security. Under we have to expand it, and then we have to go to inbound rules. Under inbound rules, I have to create a new rule, and that new rule will be predefined. Under predefined, the very first port which we have to open is file and printer sharing. The reason we need a file and printer sharing is because it is this is port number 445, and it is required for the client push method. If we are using a client push method, then this port should be open, because there are two initial files which SCCM server sends over port number 445, which are CCM setup.exe and mobile client.tcf. Those are the two files which come over port number 445, and that's the reason we need this file and printer sharing to be open. Now, as soon as they come, they will initiate the installation. I will explain in detail once we install a client, like how exactly it happens and what are the two files which are coming and what and all informations are there on those two files. But for now, we need the port number 445 to copy the initial two files for the client push method. Now we say next, allow this connection and finish. Now the second rule which is required is again predefined, and the WMI connectivity. So this is for the port number 135. So this is also required in order to do the client push. So make sure this is open and finish. So we are good on the local admin group which we have added to the restricted groups, and also we have we have added the firewall. I like open the firewall ports which is required. Now let's close this. Now we have to link this group policy to the OUs. So currently we are making the India site. So I'm gonna link this group policy to my IND computers. So you have to right click on that OU and then link an existing GPU, and then you have to select that GPU and say OK. Now this is done. Our group policy has been set on the machines, and we are good on the group policy part. We can close this, and also we are good on our local admin accounts which we have to create. Now we have to add the account which we have created to the local admin group on our primary site server. So I'm on the primary site server right now, cm underscore prs. So in this server, what we have to do is we have to go to lusrmgr.msc. Under that, we have to go under groups. Under groups, we have to go to administrators, and I have to make my CM full admins and SQL, because our SQL service is going to be run on this MS SQL service account. And yeah, these are the two accounts which I have to make the full admin. Which I have to add into the administrator groups on my primary site server local admin. So I'm gonna add that right now. Say apply. Okay. So now our VM has been created, our accounts has been created, we have created the group policy also. And now the next thing which we have to do is install server rules and features required for the SCCM primary site server. So let's install this on our primary site server. To install the server roles and features, first we have to log into the primary site server, and then we have to go to server manager. Under server manager, we have to go to manage. Under manage, we have to go to add rules and features and say next, next, next. And the very first thing which we have to select here is IIS. So IIS is a kind of mediator between our clients and our server. So it works as a mediator between our client and servers. So now the second thing which we needed is Windows Server Update Service, which is for the software update point. If we gonna install the software update point, that's where we need it. And next, we need .NET 3.5, as well as we need bits, and then we're gonna need our remote differential compression. So these are the things which is needed. Now there are few additional things which are needed in IIS. I'm gonna check that right now. So uh, we will be needing WMI IIS6 WMI compatibility, IIS6 scripting tool, and then we will be needing ASP .NET 3.5. Yeah, these are the one which is required, and that's it. We are good here, and we can say next. Now it's asking for WSS. So I'm gonna install my WSS on my WID, not on my SQL. In my later videos, I'm gonna show you how you can move your WSS from WID to SQL. So for now, these are the two options which we have to select. We don't have to select the SQL server. And then it is asking me where you want to save your content. So I'm gonna give location in C drive WSS, and I'm gonna give this location. Next, so we have to give the location for .NET 3.5. So now I'm gonna say specify path, and the path will be my media, like the ISO for server operating system, and then you have to go under sources and SXS, copy and paste this location, say okay, and now I'm gonna install these. I'm gonna pause my video until this installation finish and we can start again. Now the roles and the features has been installed, and we can close it. Now we see this flag, and there is an exclamation mark in there, so there is a notification for us which says that we have to launch a post install for our Windows Server Update service. So we have to click here on launch post install, and if we see, it will be doing the post install configuration. I'm going to pause the video until this finishes. Now our post install has been completed for WSS, and now the next thing which we have to do is reboot the server. So before we reboot, I just wanted to let you know our roles and features has been installed. Our the WSS which is has to be installed, and post install has been done for WSS. So now the next part is we have to reboot the server as we have installed these roles, and then once the server is up, we're gonna do the next configurations. Now if we look at the slide one more time, we have created a VM full admin user, and the group policy which we have to configure, and after that we have installed the server roles and features. Now the next part which is pending is installation of SQL. So in order to install SQL, the very first thing which we have to do is we have to go to this URL, which is an evaluation center for the Microsoft, from where you can download the SQL for free. Uh, I'm gonna give this link in the description so you can download this. So the very first thing which we have to do is we have to download this exe file. As soon as you download this exe file, you have to execute this exe file, and this is what you will see. So this is the first thing which you will see, and then you have to click on download media. Under download media, just select the ISO and choose the location where you want to save it, and click on download. As soon as you click on download, it will give you an ISO file which you can use for your installation purpose. Now my ISO has been downloaded for the SQL, and I have also added my ISO to my virtual machine in here, and after that what I have to do is I have to run this setup, and it is running right now. Go to installation and go to new SQL Server standalone installation. Now we have to choose the evaluation version and say next, accept, next, say next. You can skip the scan because we do not need it right now. Now the next thing which we have to do is we have to select the features. So I'm going to select the database engine service which is required for our SCCM. So that's the only thing which we have to select here right now. We don't have to select anything else, and we will go next from here. And I'm gonna keep these location default because I'm gonna save my. Uh, I'm gonna install these. These will be my installation directory for my SQL. If you want, you can change it. So I'm gonna put my SQL on a default instance. If you want, you can change your instance name. This can be changed by from here, and you can do that. So I'm gonna keep it as in default. Say next. Now I'm gonna run these services on the service account which I have created. So I have to say browse cm underscore ms SQL, and I'm gonna do the same for this one, cm underscore ms SQL. I'm gonna put the password. Say next. Now in here, it is asking for the SQL administrator. So I'm going to add the accounts, which will be cm underscore ms SQL. Obviously, that's the first one, and then I'm going to add cm underscore full admins, which will be my full administrator. So these are the only two accounts which I'm going to give right now. So I'm also going to give my current user, just which will be administrator. If you want, you can remove it. So I'm going to give it. Say next. And it is, everything is done, and I'm going to install it right now. So now the installation has been started. It's going to take some time to finish. So meanwhile, I'm going to pause this video. Now the installation for the SQL has been successfully completed, and we can close these consoles from here. I'm going to close this. The next thing which we have to do right now is we have to download the ADK. So if we see at the slide, that's the only thing which is pending right now, the installation of ADK. So in order to do the installation of ADK, we have to visit this URL, which will be uh, the Microsoft official URL from where you can download the ADK. So we have to scroll it down. So for now, we're gonna install the ADK for Windows 11, which will support our previous version as well. So if you download the latest ADK, so it will be a backward compatible, and we can do we can support our previous version of Windows as well. So if we install the Windows 11 ADK, it will still support the Windows 10 version. So we need to understand one more concept of ADK, that it will be supported with your SCCM version or not. So in order to do that, there is an official website where you can go, where it says the support for Windows ADK in Configuration Manager, and you can look at this table. So which ADK version is supported with which configuration manager. So in this case, if you see this Windows 11, this is the version, is supported with, it's supported from 2111. That's the configuration version which is supported from. So if you install Windows ADK with 2107, you will, this is not supported, and let's say that's not supported. So we have to make sure, we have to look at this particular URL before we install the ADK, or before we plan to install the ADK for the configuration manager. So I'm going to give this link in the description, so you can have a look before you plan for your installation of ADK. So Now, in order to download the ADK, there are two things which we have to download: ADK for Windows 11 and WinPE add-on for ADK Windows 11. So these are the two things we have to download separately. So I've already downloaded it here. So I have ADK setup and WinPE both. So what you have to do is you have to double click on each of them one by one. So it says install the Windows ADK on this computer or download. So obviously there is a size of I mean, sorry, if you see the size here, it's only of 2 MB. So it's just a setup. So we have to download the complete media right now. So we have to select download the Windows Assessment Deployment Toolkit for the installation on the separate computer. So because we have to do, I'm going to do this on my base machine right now. So you can do it wherever you want, but make sure you download this first. Or if you're doing directly on the server, you can just say install and it will download and install simultaneously. For now, I'm going to download it here. So say next, yes, accept, and it's downloading the features right now. So I'm going to pause the video until the download finishes. So now the ADK download has been completed. Now I'm going to download the WinPE. So before downloading the WinPE, we have to close it, and we have to do the same thing here and download locally. Next, accept, yes, accept, and it's downloading. So I'm going to pause the video again until it finishes the download. Now the download has been completed for WinPE as well. Now I'm going to copy both the folders on my server, and let me close this first. Now I have copied the setup for Windows ADK, and I have both the offline files here. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to say install and say next, yes, next, accept. The only thing which we needed in here is deployment toolkit. We do not need this one, not this one. We need user state migration tool. We do not need these three. We only need Windows Performance Toolkit, User USMT, and Deployment Toolkit. These are the only three which are required for the SCCM, and I'm gonna say install right now. So it is installing. So um, once this is installed, then we're gonna install our WinPE, and let's wait for the installation. Now the installation has been completed for ADK, and now I'm gonna close it. We have to open, and now we have to install the ADK WinPE setup. So I'm gonna install the same. We have to choose the same option, the first one, and the same next, and yes, and accept, and then install. So it's gonna take 1 or 2 minutes to install. So I'm gonna pause the video for now. Okay, now the WinPE is also installed, so we can close this. Okay, now if we look at the slide one more time just to see what and all we have done. So we have installed all these prereq for the SCCM, and now the only thing is which is pending is right now the installation of SCCM. This will be the end of my this video, and I'm gonna come up with a new video where we're gonna do the installation of SCCM. So stay tuned for my next video, and thank you for watching.